Welcome everybody back to DHS SportsCenter. I'm Ben Smith and thank you all for tuning in. On today's show, I will show you all our highlights for the 2022 year here on DHS SportsCenter. In January of 2022, DHS SportsCenter came out and our first show was a Super Bowl preview show with masks. We only recorded 2 episodes with masks, and now in December of 2022, no masks and 100% back to normal. Happy as ever could be. Stay tuned, we'll be right back right after these commercials at DHS SportsCenter. Let's go! Welcome back. I have Mr. Tebow and Mr. Crisafulli on the show. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Ben. How are you?
Thank you,
great.
Ben, for having us.
No problem. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the LA Rams, and I'm going to start off with Mr. Tebow. What do you think about the Rams this season?
Well, I think they're all in, right? And, you know, they made some trades in the offseason to really bolster their defense and their lineup. And then, of course, they signed Odell Beckham Jr. midway through the year to kind of enhance their offense.
So I think the LA Rams have the 2 best players on the field. I believe Cooper Kupp, from the offensive standpoint, is dynamic and, again, can score on any play. I think that Aaron Donald, again, would be the defensive player of the year. And you have to attribute and put 2 to 3 guys on him to account for him. Which does free up a lot of other defensive players to make plays. So,
that being said, you can't throw the ball from your back. And I think, you know, the offensive, if there's a weakness for the Bengals, it's their offensive line.
Yeah.
And if you said what's the biggest strength of the Rams, I'd say it's their defensive line. Yeah, and I think the NFL, though, today is structured in such a way that the advantage always goes to the offense. You know, I really do kind of feel for the defense. You can't breathe or touch the receivers much without a penalty being called. But in the playoffs, you know, the NFL officiating, well, you know how I feel about officials, Mr. Crisafulli.
Can we pivot to a different topic?
Sure.
They've kind of pushed all their chips to the middle of the table. They've made a lot of decisions and transactions that they've traded away high draft picks over the next few years to load up for this year. I think that they have.
Is that potato chips that you were talking about?
What's that?
Potato chips? They push their potato chips to the middle?
No, I think you already have your mind on Super Bowl Sunday.
Are we going to talk about food, Ben?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me make my prediction. Let me make my prediction. So I think
you haven't made it yet?
No, I'm explaining it.
How long is this show, Ben?
It's about 20 minutes now.
Well,
that's okay. It's primetime television.
Go-to Super Bowl food.
My go-to Super Bowl food would be like chips and salsa or nachos or stuff like that.
Nachos are good. What about buffalo chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo chicken
Wild
dip.
Wings.
Oh, you're a Buffalo Wild Wings fan? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Mr. Crisafulli? Food? I mean, just give us a couple of items.
I could go another 20 minutes on the show.
Thanksgiving dinner for you, I know, yeah.
I'm a big fan of potato skins, as you probably know. Potato skins are fantastic. But I do like the buffalo chicken dip.
Yes.
And the homemade one.
Especially the ones at school, though. They're good as well. So.
I haven't had the one at school.
For face mask.
Yeah, I mean, so some people don't, they want to make an issue of the officiating in the game, and I can kind of understand it. I mean, first 3.5 quarters, they let them play, and then the final drive for the Rams, there were how many penalties, pass interference, and, different things like that. So, the officials, sometimes they can impact the game, unfortunately.
That's why I get mad at officiating, and so I'm a big if they call a bad call, I legit get mad.
Yeah, again, it's one thing to be bad for the whole game and be consistent. It's another thing when you officiate the game one way for 3.5 quarters, and then when the game's on the line, you start calling everything. And I think you saw some of that in the Super Bowl, and that's problematic. But Mr. Crisafulli, would tell you that the officials are never to blame for wins and losses. But he's not here today. I don't know why. He might be eating Super Bowl leftovers or something. He did have.
He backed out.
Yeah. He was focused on the chips again, I think.
Also, I forgot to I was also going to mention, how about the halftime show? That was a good halftime show.
That was the best halftime show I can remember. You and I talked about this earlier this week. It was that halftime show, and then the Patriots' first Super Bowl with Tom Brady. U2 and Paul McCartney. Those are the two, in my opinion, the two best Super Bowl halftime shows that have been around. But this one was fantastic for sure.
I know you just said those were the two best halftime shows. One of mine favorites, I'm going to just pick 3, just for example. This halftime show, J-Lo and Shakira.
Ben, I give you credit for admitting that. That's
the other one is Katy Perry. Oh,
really? When she was dressed as a shark or whatever it was?
Not Katy Perry. Justin Timberlake. That was
Ben, those are two very different people.
Yeah, I meant Justin Timberlake.
Okay, so. Justin Timberlake. All right. I don't remember Justin Timberlake, to be honest with you. What was your favorite commercial?
Oh, my favorite commercial was the, there's two. The Doritos commercial.
That's my favorite. The sloth?
Yeah, with the sloth.
That was fantastic. I literally laughed out loud when he looked and said, nope, and then goes scurrying back up the tree.
Yeah, and the other...
Xavier's in the audience. I wonder if she watched the commercials.
Yes, I like the one with the little robotic dog for the car commercial, and they plugged them in.
Oh, yeah.
That was so...
Turn around.
Oh,
That
who knew you could sing too, Ben?
What was that, Ben? Say it
It was the Turn Around song.
Yeah.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. It was the Kia commercial, I think.
Kia, that's it.
Yeah.
They're going to play for him, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Duke upset over Gonzaga.
I was kind of upset about Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean. I mean, Ohio State, I hate Ohio State with a passion.
Why?
It's a strong word to say. I don't know why.
I dislike Florida State. Ohio State also. Not as much as Notre Dame. And I'm glad that Notre Dame was not in the tournament. Well, I'm sorry, they were in the tournament. Now they're out. But I'm not a big Ohio State fan. But why do you not like them? Is it just basketball, or is it football and basketball?
It's just their fans. It's their fans. It's like Yankees fans and Cowboys fans.
I just want to point out, if you ask Mr. Crisafulli in any college sport what his favorite team is, it's the same. It's A, B, and D. Anyone but Notre Dame. That's who he roots for. He doesn't have a team. I don't need one.
Well, I did, Mr. Crisafulli, hear you just say Florida State, which is actually my least favorite team.
You don't like Florida State?
Do not like Florida State.
Is it just in basketball, or is it football?
It is both basketball and football. Every time the Canes play them, it's past couple of years, especially in basketball, it has been a nightmare. But I will never like the Summer
Friars. I think
Before you make
it
this
would be a
pick,
great game. Yes.
you should know that if you pick against PC, you have to give up your season tickets. You have to. So I'm just saying, Coach Cooley's going to see this show, I'm sure. I'm sure he's got nothing else to do.
No,
I'm sorry, Coach Cooley.
I think he's a little too busy these days. So we do have a great matchup. Okay, between a very fundamentally sound and talented Gonzaga team with an extremely hard-working, aggressive, and physical Providence team. And I think when it's all said and done, Mr. Tebow, I think what you're going to see is Timmy and the Zags are going to win the national title.
You should not call yourself a Friars fan.
So I left the hat in the middle so everyone can view it, but I think that is definitely going to happen. So if you are a betting man,
We don't bet.
that's what I would bet.
We don't bet.
Good time with you. You said that was your birthday, and that Mr. Tebow and I were going to come together and to get you some ice cream cake from Mr. Peepers in Swansea. And we are people of our word. So happy belated birthday, Ben. We have a nice Mr. Peepers slice of cake to celebrate your birthday.
It's fire. It's on fire.
Yeah. I think we should sing happy birthday.
Oh, they're sparking.
Oh my Lord, you better back away. Back away from the cake.
Are we
Ready?
singing? Mr. Prada, you
Mr.
lead the
Parada, you
way.
lead it right in the front over here. Come on. Come on.
And I'm a harmonica or my guitar. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
That was the hardest.
Did you make a wish, Ben?
Yeah, I
Don't
was
tell
like-
us what it is, it won't come true.
I did.
Okay.
Here at Dartmouth High School. Mr. Carvalho, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ben. I'm excited to be. It's like being on Jimmy Fallon.
So the first thing is, Mr. Carvalho is the new boys track coach, assistant coach. Can you introduce yourself first?
I'm Mr. Cavallo. I'm the new assistant boys track coach. And as Ben already mentioned, I'm a Portuguese teacher here at Dartmouth High. And I'm happy to be on your show.
Excellent. How do you like the experience here so far?
Dartmouth in general, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. It's been awesome. It reminds me a lot of my hometown, Tiverton. Everyone's fun, a lot of school spirit. You're cool, so that helps. So no, I love it.
What is your favorite food that you would like?
My favorite food? Anything Portuguese is really good. It's an unpopular opinion. I like bacalhau, which is like Portuguese codfish, or octopus. Octopus grilled is pretty dang good. Some people think I'm crazy. Or rabbits. Sorry for the pet people, but rabbit is good.
I'm gonna add on to that.
bring
My
it up.
favorite Portuguese food in general would be Portuguese steak from Caldeiras in Fall River, and Caravelas as well.
Yep, they're both very good. I go to Caldeiras all the time.
I'm
So I know
going
exactly what you're
there
talking
in a
about.
few weeks for my cousin's first communion.
Okay.
So
I think Bill Belichick has to go.
Oh,
I
man.
think the Patriots draft was abysmal, and I just, I found myself. First off, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I stayed up to watch until the Patriots pick, only to see them trade down and then take some guy that the Rams had being available at pick 104. So, and then it just seemed like round after round after round, Bill Belichick and the Patriots really reached for players that
yeah.
might be busts in the NFL. It's great to be fast like Tyquan Thornton is, but football is not sprinting. It's a game of explosion and sudden change of direction, and it's great to have sprinter speed. It's another thing to be able to catch the ball, change direction, and make explosive plays. And I guess we'll see. Time will tell, but I was a big in Bill We Trust guy, and I'm starting to lose that trust. Well, you bring up Chuck Noll, so I'm a little bit older than you, Ben, just a little bit older. So I remember when legends like Chuck Noll for the Steelers and Tom Landry for the Cowboys, they stayed longer than they probably should have. So they went from these coaching icons where their franchises had tremendous success, and by the late 80s, they were kind of run out of run out of town in Pittsburgh and Dallas, respectively. The good news for Dallas is they hired Jimmy Johnson at that point, and Pittsburgh hired Bill Cowher. Who do we have? Joe Judge and Matt Patricia? That's scary. That's scary to think. And so, I'm hoping that Bill Belichick hasn't lost it, but all evidence is to the contrary at this point. They have a middling roster that he alone is responsible for building. I think that their draft last year was their best draft in probably at least the last 5, if not 10 years. And I think Dave Ziegler had a huge part in that, and now he's with the Las Vegas Raiders. So, shout out to Notre Dame.
Shout out to Notre Dame.
At least Mr. Crisafulli was
Well, Mr. Crisafulli's probably asleep at the switch somewhere. You know what I mean? He thinks.
Mr.
I know
Parati's
Mr. Parati's laughing. We can hear him from the control room. No, but Mr. Crisafulli is arguing with me that the Patriots draft was just fine. And it's probably because Mr. Crisafulli's a baseball guy and not a football guy. But that's a story for another day.
And he said that he's he's more of a basketball guy more than you are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. How did his picks work out? Didn't he have some March Madness prediction about Gonzaga and Timmy and all this other craziness? And how did that all work out?
It didn't
Not
work
to mention
out well.
he picked against Providence College, who he claimed to be a super fan of. I don't know. I think you should have him back on the show, Ben, just to hold him accountable for some of his takes that have gone sideways.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome back to DHS SportsCenter for the 2022-2023 year. Today I'm joined by Coach White of the football team and the athletic director, Mr. Chris Foley. So the first question I have is for Coach White. You guys have been practicing for a little bit now. How excited are you guys to get back out there on the field?
Well, every year is a different opportunity, new opportunity in a new senior class, right? So, it's only one 2022 football team, and they're excited, they're ready to go. It's a long preseason. We've been out since August 19th, so ready to play a game.
Nice. And you guys are taking on Greater New Bedford Voc for this first home game. How have you guys done in the past against Voc?
We've been pretty successful. We started playing them again the last several years, so but they're much improved. I would say I think last year they won the vocational championship, went to the state tournament for vocational schools. And Coach Cruz has a very good program. They have big numbers, a lot of kids out for the team. So I think they're going to be a formidable opponent.
And we're back, and I'm happy to be joined by Graham White and Sean Martin. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. So you guys have been practicing since August. How excited would you guys say you are to get back out there and be playing for Dartmouth?
I'll let the QB talk first.
Yeah, it's been a long off season, putting in the work. This is what you look forward to all year. We've been in the weight room, we've been out on the practice field, having our captains' practices, having our team meetings. We're ready for the moment. We're ready to take on staying, and we'll give it our best and go hard.
All right, and we are back. I am very happy to be joined today by Mrs. Lassie, the coach of the DHS volleyball team, and senior captain Lauren Augusto. So my first question for you guys is, how do you think the team has been performing so far this year?
I think we've been playing really well. We only lost 3 seniors from last year and only added 1 new person. So we still have that connection that we had from last year. And we're 3-1 so far, and we've had a great start to the season.
We've also really amped up our schedule this year so that we have some of the tougher teams in order to be ready for tournament. So we did take our first loss on Friday to Westboro, but they were second in the state last year, so I'll take that.
Nice. All right, and we are back, and I'm happy to be joined by the DHS golf senior captains, Chase Gilherm and Connor Murphy. So my first question for you guys is, how has the season been going so far?
It's been pretty good. We're, 5-3?
5-2, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've been playing good, solid golf, just winning matches.
Yeah.
That's really all it is to it.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year the seniors, Keegan Humison and Luke Medeiros, obviously are gone this year. How has the change been from losing them last year to this year?
Keegan and Luke were great last year, and we definitely missed them, but we've had some great underclassmen coming up. We've had some good freshmen, sophomores, so we've definitely stepped up, filled in the gaps. So, yeah, it's been good.
I agree.
Nice.
And welcome back, folks. Today I am fortunate to have Mr. Bro, coach of the Unified Basketball team here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Will, appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell me about how long have you been coaching for Unified Basketball?
Yeah, this is my 9th year as a Unified coach. So I started with Unified Track. Our first year was our first offering, and it's now our 8th season of Unified Basketball. So it's flown by, but excited for another season.
I would like to say we also have an upcoming event coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. Do you want to explain about it?
Yeah, this is a really big stretch for our Unified team. So this coming Thursday, we're lucky that we'll have you two on the color commentary. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. You two have been crushing it. So it's been a lot of fun to watch your improvements from last year to this year with volleyball and soccer. And so keep up the good work. But we're excited to have you both on the mic for our senior day against Middleborough on Thursday, November 3rd. Game's at 3 p.m. So we hope that everybody else will come out and join us. And then the big breaking news for us is that we are hosting the Jamboree, so our playoff kind of tournament at the end of the season, which will be on November 10th here at school in the afternoon from 3 to 6. So that'll be a fun event. And I think even bigger than that is we're really lucky to announce that Dartmouth High has been awarded a Unified Champion National Banner School by Special Olympics. So this is the second time that we've earned the distinction, but we're one of only 12 schools in the state to get it and 160 in the country. So really, really nice honor, and we're going to celebrate that with the whole school during PACE on November 10th. We're going to do a little green and white scrimmage with our basketball team. The students and staff will all be there in the stands to kind of support us. So it should be a really great day for us to celebrate inclusion and acceptance and just really celebrate what all the students and staff have helped to grow in the last 4 years.
Thank you all for tuning in to today's episode of DHS SportsCenter. Stay tuned for our next episode in the new year where we'll be interviewing our newest basketball coaches for the girls varsity, Mr. Brian Jalbert, Coach Brian Jalbert, and boys basketball coach, Coach Nick Simonetti. Happy New Year. Have a safe holiday, everybody. We'll see you all in 2023, and I hope may 2023 give you the best of luck. Thank you, guys.